I'll be introducing the National Tourism Policy 2020 to 2030. Tourism plays a vital role in Malaysia's economy. It contributes not only to economic growth and job creations, but also promotes cultural exchange and supports environmental sustainability. Recognizing this, the Malaysian government introduced the National Tourism Policy 2020 to 2030 as a strategic framework to make Malaysia a preferred global travel destination. This policy is designed to ensure the tourism industry remains resilient, competitive and future-ready. According to the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia, or MOHD, the policy focuses on meeting the changing expectations of tourists by integrating digital technology, encouraging sustainable tourism, improving governance and keeping pace with global trends. It also prioritizes high-value travel experience, active involvement of rural communities and balanced development across all regions. Importantly, in the aftermath of global challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic, the NTP 2020 to 2030 serve as a timely, forward-looking roadmap to revitalize and strengthen the Malaysia's tourism sector.
Hi, I'm ADIBAH and I will continue with the background of National Tourism Policy 2020 till 2030. The Malaysian National Tourism Policy for 2020 till 2030 was introduced at the end of 2020 to guide the country's tourism sector over the next 10 years, focusing on recovery, connectivity and sustainability. This policy aims to enhance Malaysia's competitiveness, promote sustainable and inclusive growth, and position Malaysia as a leading global tourism destination. It addresses issues such as the perceived decline in service quality and seeks to improve governance, develop investment zone, accelerate digitization, enrich visitor experience, advocate for sustainable tourism, and bolster human capital. I will continue with the background and objective. The program which seeks to enhance service quality and overall competitiveness was established in response to perceived deficiencies in Malaysian tourism industry compared to its Asian neighbors. It aims to foster inclusive and sustainable tourism growth, thereby increasing Malaysia's appeal as a travel destination. Next is the key strategies. Firstly is improving governance, boosting the ability to effectively implement and manage the tourism industry. Secondly, establishing investment zones. It's creating designated tourism investment areas to draw in both domestic and foreign investment. Next is adopting smart tourism, utilizing technology to enhance tourist experience and improve operational efficiency. The last one is advancing demand sophistication, developing and refining tourist attraction and service to appeal to a broader audience.
Thank you, the first presenter, and I will continue on explaining about policy program of the National Tourism Policy 2020 until 2030. This policy was introduced with the aim of positioning Malaysia as a leading, sustainable and smart tourism destination. However, in the process of its implementation, several significant challenges have emerged. I will focus on the 3 points of this policy problem. First and foremost, the COVID-19 pandemic was one of the serious and devastating issues. The beginning of the worldwide health disaster happened with the implementation of this policy in 2020. Both domestic and foreign tourist arrival fell drastically as a result of travel restriction, lockdowns and border closure. In addition, the limiting the expansion of tourism, this resulted in significant financial losses and job losses for the entire sector. Despite the policy long-term goal, its initial inspiration was seriously destroyed, resulting in a disconnect between planning and actual results. Secondly, there are gaps in the digital transformation implementation. Adopting digital technologies which are crucial to increasing efficiency and competitiveness can be challenging for the tourism sector. Prime Minister MOHD highlighted that technology could also strengthen industrial connections and open the door to a new creative sector that would generate both business and jobs. However, in fact, many tourism operators are especially small and rural enterprises that still lack the technological expertise and digital infrastructure required to embrace a new technology. For instance, in several locations, digital marketing techniques, virtual tour, and online reservation platforms are still insufficiently utilized. Malaysia's capacity to compete with other nations that are rapidly transforming their tourism industry suffers from this technological gap. Last but not least is the decline in service quality and overall competitiveness. According to the policy Malaysia, tourist industry has grown slack and has not taken advantage of new potential clients or technological advancements to improve the level of services. Apart from that, nearby countries like Thailand, Singapore, and Indonesia present significant hazard to the sector, which has performed a better service of coming up with new ideas and adjusting to the shifting tastes of travelers. According to the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture Malaysia, or also known as MOHD, improving service delivery is essential to enhancing tourist satisfaction and fostering repeat visits. The lack of typical standard and the limited digital implementation of tourism services such as digital information kiosks, mobile booking platforms, and real-time feedback system further reduce Malaysia's competitive advantage. Reduced enjoyment is also a result of damage to the environment and overcrowding at well-known destinations. In order to address this concern and ensure consistent, high-quality service delivery throughout the tourism industry, the National Tourism Policy applies digital transformation, strengthen quality assurance frameworks, and enhance workforce skills throughout training and certification programs. Next, I will continue on explaining the policy objective of the National Tourism Policy 2020 until 2030. This policy was introduced as a roadmap to transform and future-proof of our tourism industry over the next decade. It outlines a strategic approach to strengthen Malaysia's positions as a top tourism destination, with a focus on three major objectives. First objective is to ensure responsibility and sustainability. This means that the growth of the tourism industry must respect our local communities, preserve the environment, and produce economic advantages. This policy promotes the conservation of natural resources, ecotourism, and low-impact travel to ensure that future generations may continue to appreciate Malaysia's natural beauty. It also focuses on striking a balance between environmental and preservation and tourism growth. We may refer to Mount Kinabalu, Tioman Islands, and Langkawi as example. This may be one of the most stunning locations in our nations to be explored. The second objective is to enhance the competitiveness of Malaysia's tourism sector. Malaysia needs to be unique in an industry that is becoming more and more worldwide. The policy objectives are to enhance tourism services, upgrade infrastructure, and promote the use of digital technologies, including integrated online booking platform and smart travel apps. Additionally, it encourages investment in high-quality accommodation, transportation, and human capital development, guaranteeing that tourist employees receive top-notch training and provide top-notch services. Malaysia must make these changes in order to successfully compete with other regional travel destinations. So, last but not least is to promote the uniqueness of Malaysian arts, culture, and heritage. One of Malaysia's greatest tourist attractions is a multicultural community. The goal of the policy is to draw attention to regional celebrations, historical sites, traditional craft, and cultural events. These components are not only essential to national identity, but they also play a significant role in tourism, offering that draw tourists from both domestic and foreign countries. The goal of the policy is to make culture and heritage a driving force behind the expansion of the tourist and culture sectors by incorporating them into tourist planning and marketing.
So now I will continue with the strategy of NTP. So NTP aims to make Malaysia as one of the top 10 tourist destinations globally. This policy consists of 6 strategies, but I will only highlight on 3 of them, which is establishing an inclusive investment zone, promoting sustainable tourism, and accelerating digitalization in the travel and tourism industry. So the first strategy is create Special Tourism Investment Zone (STIZ). Malaysia's Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin has announced the National Tourism Policy 2020 to 2030, which includes the creation of special tourism investment zones and a focus on making Malaysia as a top ecotourism destination. 6 subcommittees, which led by the Malaysian Investment Development Authority (MIDA), have been formed to ensure the strategy objectives are effectively implemented. The Jawatankuasa Kerja Pelaburan (JKP) aims to create Special Tourism Investment Zone (STIZ) through public-private partnerships and develop strategies to attract local and international investors.
MIDA and the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture Malaysia, MOHD, have held roadshows to identify potential STIZs. STIZ in Malaysia aim to enhance the country's tourism sector by providing banking, commercial, logistics, hospitals, and retirement homes. These public-private partnerships are important and crucial for boosting the industry. The designation of STIZ will create a pro-investment environment which attracts both international and domestic investors. Similar to existing special manufacturing zones, STIZ will focus on the tourism sector, aim to attract high-quality investment, aligning with the NTP transformation plans. This approach has proven effective in growing foreign direct investment, employment, and industrial capacity in Malaysia's manufacturing industry. The second strategy is to implement responsible and sustainable travel practices. NTP promotes Malaysia as the top of mind ecotourism destination in the world, integrating the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) as standards for the country's tourism industry's long-term growth, equitable development, and responsible consumption. Good governance requires balancing development, protection, and preservation of the country's resources, which include environment, culture, and heritage. The private sector involvement is crucial for creating STIZ. The tourism and hospitality industries must make structural adjustment to transition to environmentally friendly practices and sustainability, which align with UN SDG and ESG component, which will encourage hotel and tourism project owners to invest in clean or green technologies. The third strategy is to adopting smart travel. Government encourage hospitality players to adopt digital technology and innovation to gain a competitive advantage. These include developing visual experiences, implementing flexible cancellation rules, and launch marketing to encourage early trip planning. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture, MOHD, has developed the Tourism Recovery Plan, TRP, to revive domestic tourism through digital platforms, incentives, and discounts. TRP aims to use technologies like cashless payment, online booking, contactless transactions, and check-in to enhance tourism experiences post-pandemic. MIDA encouraged enterprises to use the Automation Capital Allowance incentive to promote automation adoption, especially in labor-intensive industries, and boost automation projects, thereby aiding in the recovery strategy. MIDA also promotes high-value, creative tourism products and services in Malaysia aligned with environmental policies and legal standards. It encouraged businesses to invest in modern infrastructure to enhance the tourism industry's resilience and competitiveness, aligning with the 2022 theme of rebuilding a sustainable economy through quality investment and strategic investment, supply chain development.
Next, I will explain about the policy evolution on strike awarenesses on policy tourism. First of all, the policy strength on tourism is economic growth. Tourism can significantly boost local economies by generating revenue through tourism spending, supporting local business, and creating job or employment opportunities. For example, it can increase our production of goods and services, also leading to higher income. So, secondly, the policy strength in tourism on the policy tourism is about infrastructure development. The Sustainable Infrastructure Initiative are focused on the green infrastructure, including eco-rich, sustainable transportation and renewable energy in tourist destinations. The strengthening of infrastructure is to support a long-term environmental conservation and is consistent with Malaysia's climate pledge. Other than that, the policy strength on tourism is the digital transformations. Digital transformation in the tourists refer to a broad variety of the technologies and tactics intended to improve the experience of the travelers, of foreigners, and streamline business processes. For example, smartphone applications for planning and exploring, an online booking platform which is for booking the hotel or apartment to stay, and chatbots to driven by artificial intelligence for the customer support. Next, we talk about weaknesses of policy evaluation on tourism. Firstly, environmental breakdown. Over tourism can lead to pollution, habitat injury, and resources reduction. Those are negatively impacting the natural environment, especially when it leads to disease. For example, the COVID-19 disease. As a COVID-19 pandemic is giving triggered the largest global economic crisis in more than a century. Next, the weak essence of the policy evaluation on tourism is about over-reliance. Over-reliance can result in a number of detrimental social and economic effects, including harm to the environment, higher living expenses for the residents, and lack of the economic diversity. For example, cost of the housing, food, and other essentials, for instance, might rise due to the tourism, making it harder for residents to afford to live in their own neighborhoods. Furthermore, the weaknesses of the policy evaluation on the tourism, and the last but not least about the lack of long-term vision. Over-tourism may ensue, which will have an adverse effect on the local energy of ecology and the destination long-term sustainability.
Next, I will continue with the recommendation. The government could introduce a Malaysia tourism pass to offer various benefits to both domestic and international tourists. This pass could include discounts on accommodations, transportation, theme parks, heritage sites, and selected restaurants. It can also be linked to a mobile application that helps travelers plan their trips and redeem rewards. By implementing this initiative, it will encourage more people to travel within Malaysia and increase tourist spending, which support the recovery and growth of the tourism industry after the COVID-19 pandemic. Second, in line with the national tourism policy emphasis on inclusive and sustainable tourism, it is recommended to strengthen community-based tourism (CBT) initiative across Malaysia. CBT empower local and rural communities by allowing them to actively participate in the tourism economy while preserving their cultural heritage and natural resources. The government should support this initiative through capacity building program in hospitality and ecotourism, provide microfinancing option for community-run tourism projects, and included CBT destination in national and international tourism promotion campaign. This will not only boost economic opportunities in less developed regions but also enrich Malaysian tourism offering with authentic cultural and rural experience, attracting high-value and eco-conscious travelers. The last one is to improve the quality of service and professionalism in the tourism industry. The government should strengthen tourism education and training programs. This include updating the curriculum in tourism and hospitality course at university and college to include new trends such as digital tourism, sustainable tourism, and customer experience management. Additionally, short-term course and workshop can be offered to existing tourism workers to improve their skills and knowledge. By investing in human capital, Malaysia can develop a more skilled, knowledgeable, and customer-friendly tourism workforce, which will help improve the overall tourist experience and enhance the country image as a high-quality destination.
In conclusion, the National Tourism Policy 2020 to 2030 marks a significant milestone in Malaysia's journey to strengthen and future-proof its tourism industry. By focusing on digital transformations, inclusive growth, and sustainable practices, the policy offers a clear direction for the industry to recover from past challenges, particularly the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and to adapt the evolving global trends. Through strategic collaborations between the government, industry stakeholders, and local communities, the NTP aims to enhance Malaysia's global competitiveness while preserving its unique cultural and natural heritage. Looking ahead, the successful implementations of this policy will be crucial in delivering long-term economic, social, and environmental benefits, not only for the tourism sector, but for the nation as a whole. Thank you.